G'day guys and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video I will be going over how I went in round 2 and then I'll be giving you my round 3 tips. Very excited to jump into this one, but before I do, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe guys. Like 80% of people that watch this content are not subscribed. If you could take 2 seconds out of your day just to hit that sub button, it would mean the absolute world to me. Alright, let's get into it. So round 2, backed in the Hawks to beat the Blues by 15 points. I actually won by 20, so pretty good pick there for me. I then backed in Collingwood to beat the Western Bulldogs. Pies got up by 6. Strong win there for the Pies. Backed in Essendon to beat Adelaide. What a horrible tip this was. Adelaide are just on fire so far this year. 61-point win, credit to them. I backed in Port Adelaide to beat Richmond. Really strong win here for the Power. Richmond, this is how I expected them to show up in round 1. And yeah, Port Adelaide just absolutely put them to the sword. I backed in Geelong to beat the Saints. Somehow St Kilda won this one, and they actually looked fantastic for the most part of this game. Credit to the Saints. Obviously, I backed in the Lions to beat my Eagles here at the Gabba. The Eagles actually started this game so well. I just think their young legs got the better of them, and the Lions got up in the end here. But I'm really proud of that Eagles performance. I backed in North Melbourne to beat Melbourne. As I said, I'm confident that North are going to have a pretty decent year this year. Probably not a top 8 team, but I am confident they're going to be a much improved team, and they showed this against the Demons. Obviously, to wrap up the round, I backed in Freo at home. I thought they'd get the job done here over Sydney. The Swans, they beat them. They beat them fair and square. Good win for the Swans in Western Australia too, so strong performance there for the Swans. All right, on to round 3. Here we go. We got the Essendon Bombers taking on the Port Adelaide Power. I just can't tip Essendon here. I'm going to say this is going to be by about 19 points. Yeah, I can't tip Essendon. I think Port Adelaide will win this one. Again, I don't think it'll be an absolute flogging, but I do think Power get the job done. All right, next up we got Carlton against the Bulldogs. It's so difficult to tip the Blues. It really is. The Dogs, they're hot and cold too. This one I think is definitely a game that could go either way. I am going to tip the Blues to get it done though. I think they win this one 1-39. Melbourne taking on the Gold Coast Suns at the MCG. This is definitely a game that the Demons should win. Will they? Who bloody knows? They are so hot and cold as well. I think this is a game that potentially could go either way. I would say that Gold Coast don't tend to play well outside of Queensland, but they proved me wrong with a massive win over West Coast in round 1. So this is definitely a game I could see going either way. I'm going to go the safer option and back Melbourne in at home, but I would not be surprised if the Suns did win this one. So Melbourne 1-39. St Kilda against Richmond. I'm not going to think twice about this one. Saints should win and win well. I'm going to say a 39+ win there, or 40+ win. Hawthorn and GWS. For the Giants to be at 18% is a little bit wild to me. I know Hawthorn started the year off well, but the Giants are also 2-0, so I do think this is a game that definitely could go either way. Being played at the University of Tasmania Stadium, I do think that Hawthorn will probably be too good here, but again, I do think this is another game that could go either way, but I am going to back Hawthorn 1-39. Lions against the Cats at the Gabba. I do think the Lions will be too good here. I'm going to go a 1-39 margin as well. Lions should get the job done there. Pretty confident about that. We then got the Adelaide Crows taking on North Melbourne. North Melbourne, I think, will be very competitive in this game, but Adelaide have just looked incredible this year, so I've got to back in Adelaide there. I think they will be too good at home. And then we've got the West Coast Eagles taking on the Fremantle Dockers. This is a game that Freo probably should win, but I'm going to go with my gut here. I'm going to say West Coast, go with my heart here, and I'm actually going to back in my Eagles. massive bounce back game against the Lions last week. I thought they looked really good. If they can carry that performance over to Optus Stadium, I do think that we can win this game, or at least be very competitive. So they are my tips there. I don't think there'll be too many massive floggings. I think St Kilda is probably the only 40-plus win. I think every other game will go 1-39. But let me know your tips down below in the comments. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.